Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki and welcome to Retail Merchandising. Today we'll be covering Chapter 7, Brands and Private Labels. You can find out the positive things of brands that you'll be carrying, which brands you will be carrying within your retail merchandising establishment. Remember, because the types of brands that you'll be carrying is a reflection of your store, the quality of the store, the image of your store, the nonverbal communication that you're communicating to your customer base. And then you have private labels. Some stores have their own private labels. Private labels are effective. It reduces on some of the costs. It allows you to control. It could be expensive depending on the size of the operation, whether you carry your own private label. But the only way they could be effective is through good advertising, as communication to your customer base, and the quality of your of the product underneath your private label. And some of them is like, if you look at Kenmore or Craftsman Tools, I'm just using that because it's like an icon that's been out there. Almost everyone knows about them. Okay, so you're either taking me in an online class at a college level, and this video is a supplement to our forums, or it'll be only lectures you'll hear. It's usually underneath an hour, half an hour to an hour, depending on the course material. Or you're taking me in a face-to-face class. So we had the lecture, and sometimes I get into discussion about how to apply what you've learned versus just to know the definition. Definition you learn on your own. Sit there, learn the words, learn the definitions. How do I take this knowledge, this new understanding, this new vocabulary, these new concepts, and able to take that and actually implement that either into my retail business, or my if I'm a department head, or even if I'm an entrepreneur or someone else is coming into retail merchandising, and you're looking, I just can't sell something, or it just doesn't look right. What should I do? Maybe I should change the brands I'm carrying. Maybe I'm getting the wrong type of clientele. Remember, what you carry is the type of people that will come in to buy those brands. So the brands already have an image, and if you carry a variety of brands, what is your image? Higher end, and with customers, retail merchandising, especially with customers. I'm talking business selling right now. The customers are looking at prices. Their gauge, for lack of better words, their instruments that they measure quality. The higher price, the higher quality, higher a luxury item, higher exclusive item. So and then you could have your private labels. Private labels work well through good advertising, through a good store image, through the brand, and also has to have the quality tied in with the price. I'm paying a good price, or an average price, or a fair price, a market price, but I'm getting excellent or high-end quality compared to a brand name. So people say, I don't see any difference except for the label. Sometimes the label, the perception, the psychographic thinking of an individual. If I look at Samsung and Apple's iTablet, both are same functional. Both, one is less expensive. The other, both have the same components. Both work just as well. But I need the Apple to have the Apple because all my peers, and it's that social status, or I'm at the higher end of the social economic ladder by having Apple versus Samsung. But that's changing because people are looking, hey, Samsung just as good, and I'm not saying one or the other. Okay, so you have this. Make sure you read the book. Remember, this is supplementary reading. Those of you taking looking at this too on YouTube. Remember, it's at a college level. I teach at community college in Lake County and in Cook County. Look me up. Pay for the courses. This is how I pay for my student loans that I still owe the government. But things happen in the economy. You have to make what you have to do. No different than retail merchandising. Something's not doing right. I've got the business. I'm sustaining. I'm doing well. How do I bring myself up to the next level? Okay? So let's look at the websites. I only have one website on here. Remember, the author depends on the material. This one's just private label. We could talk about some of the quality. I've got some videos, everything else. If you look at J.C. Penney's, and it's a good one. They carry their own private label, high quality, and how much they go into making sure that it is the quality. Okay, so the one website I have here today, I like to say, is Dress Code for Business or Fashion Sites. Let's see if I can get this one to work. Okay, so here's the dress code, and this is just a site, and I don't know why I picked it out. I had it from the previous class that I've taught. So it's the dress code. So I'm looking at dress codes, ladies' suits and everything else. So if I'm looking at dress code for, let's see, designers and the gifts, I'm looking what's acceptable, what's the different dress code. Macy's, it's a high end. Now let's look at some different. Let's look at this one here. What's the dress code? Not a best dress code. More of a casual kind of look, right? It's more of a going out there. Remember, when you're looking at who to target market from a buyer's perspective or from a retail merchandising, just look what kind of customers are coming into your store. What's attracting them? If you're getting a lot of baby boomers or grannies or old individuals, grandpas coming in, and you want to have that younger look, you're looking at why are all these older people coming in? Something is attracting this group. And maybe it's my clothesline, it doesn't fit well. So what do? If I want that group, I got to reinvent myself. Or I'm looking, maybe I missed the market. Hey, old people that got money, bring them in. And nothing wrong with that. Remember, you have to be understanding. But if you want to change something, you have to say, what is the customer clientele coming in? And a good example is, what are they wearing now? Remember, a lot of people have security camera. What are they wearing now? What could I do? Remember, you're learning your market, you're learning your customer. You may have a good idea demographically, by their social status, their pay, and everything else, a little bit about their lifestyles, but until you see them coming in the door, and then you have to adjust, because a good business person will adjust to the clients that walk through the door. I want to change the clients that walk through the door. I got to change the outside image of my business. Retail merchandising, and so your brands bring in certain individuals in. You want the high end customer base, you better start using the high end brands to bring them in. Okay, and then you can also sell your own private labels later on, but something's going to have to bring them in. So this is all this one's doing. Let me just get rid of this one. Let's see, ladies. I had one with casual women's wholesale, lady petite. Let's see dress code for business. Let's see what the dress code is for business. Corporate. Let's look at this one. We're all in business. That doesn't tell me anything else. Okay. Well, it's just some sites to look at here. And like I said, dress code, lady suits. Let's see lady suits. All right, let's see what they have on here. Find the best in the office. Ladies, what do they have you dressing? And here's just, I think it's 49 seconds. Let's see what she has to say. Okay, so they're selling coffee. This is a commercial. I always like the different commercials. Why did they throw it in there? Okay, let me stop on that. Okay, so anyway, so you get some information. You find out about the different things. And I think the dress code one I was looking at, I was just looking at different Macy's. And Macy's has a good idea of what's stylish at the high end. Then you have to find out, women's dresses. All right, what's casual. Okay, this is casual. Let's see, a petite, formal. They had one here, what to work. Let's look at work since it's a business class. Come on, ladies. How do you dress up to work? Wear it to work. Is it not working? Alright, well, I might have some technical issues on the online, but that's it. You know where to look for it. You're doing fine. It's the only website I have in this one. But there's other sites that I have looking in Blackboard Course Management. You'll find them. So let's look at about brand merchandising. Okay, we're going to go right into this chapter. Remember, this is so brand merchandising. Just a basic definition. Has a name, has a symbol. Let me make this just a little bit bigger. 150 at 200. Okay. Remember, when you're watching this, if you're watching this at the university, the college universities, iTunes, you can see the full screen. If you're looking and watching this in Blackboard, they're trying to condense the size and the file, so you can see a real small pic of me. And at the end, they'll say YouTube. Click on the YouTube, and then when you get into the YouTube, you see other stuff, just whatever's in the YouTube. You can just make the channel, just click on the box that makes it larger, and then you could see this easier. And then at the bottom, you could stop me, move me along, turn my volume down, because sometimes the voice is higher. I've got a recording, I'm recording here. I try to keep the same not monotone, that's just not my style, but my voices go down if I record. Okay, so this way you could see the information, have the concept map after you read the book. You can't get this all. Remember, the book is your first exposure. The concept maps that I have on there gives you an idea how I'm looking at the book, how I'm taking the outlining by hand, and then when you look at it, and then you look at my recording, or this Flip the Classroom, or this short lecture, you add on to what you might have missed. You say, man, remember, I'm just giving you an overview. You still have to read the book. You have to read it through the chapters perspective to understand. It goes into a lot more detail in the reading. I'm just taking this from this side. As a community college, this is a baseline. This is your introduction. This is a refresher course for some. This is something to get you out of the box and you get stuck. What else should I think about? What about brand? Should I go into brand? I need some information. That's what this is for. This is what I'm helping you for. So the more you read it, the more senses you utilize. Trust me, you have to read the material. Otherwise, you're just going to forget it the minute you put the book down or this course is over with. You want to take this and become part of your psyche, part of you. So when you're a buyer or you're a retail merchandise and you own your own store or you're in charge of department, how do I increase my sales? How do I position it? Which ones do I do? How do I bring that clientele that has the money? How do I bring the clientele that's the lifestyle I'm trying to attract to? Okay? So a brand. It also brings in people. Has a name or symbol. A certain product qualities or characteristic. You see my little square, that means you may see it in an exam. Remember, everyone's going to be, look at these chapters going forward. Take a look at it, because you could be doing a retail merchandising layout of a department or a brand new store as your final product, and you have to do a write-up. Is available nationwide or even globally. That's a brand merchandising definition. Okay, we have different types. You have designer brands, right? We want, for a certain lifestyle. You have signature brands, and J.C. Penney's, Martha Stewart would be a signature brand. Kenmore, Craftsman Tools. It goes all over. You have nationals or manufacturers, and then you have power and big market. If I could look at power, big like Nike, right? They already got the brands. They got different clothesline. They got shoes. You name it. They have apparel. They have even jewelry that goes in with a Nike look. And I'll see the little symbol or the logo that's included in there. Mass market. When I look at mass market, here's mass market. Levi's. They hit everyone. Everyone needs jeans one time. Even Levi's, remember we talked in the last chapter when they went to Casual Fridays lifestyle, that Levi's introduced the Dockers jeans. Still made out of Levi's, more flexible, more business-like, but still more durable, but still professional. Okay? So you have Levi's on there. What's the other pick I have on here? French stores are very provocative, and they're trying to tone it down. I don't know why. Just I'm looking at the things. This works out well. They always have the sexiest models. Eric Cronny and Fencha, but it brings them in the younger. But then I don't know, something's going on. They're trying to change the image, not to be some risque, because the sales are going down. So something's not working. They have to change it. Maybe we're going too provocative, and people don't want that, or maybe it's not showing anything. A good-looking gentleman, but I'm trying to sell the clothes, not his body. So maybe they're trying to that's the brand image. I come in there, I'm going to find a risque. I'm going to find that look that no one else has. Okay. But they're changing, so keep an eye. On this one here is, jockey shorts, you've been through everything else, underwear for those guys, or, right, intense competition, marketing, but jockey still has a good brand loyalty, good quality, even though the simple doesn't change. It's underwear. Give me a break. What do you want me to do? Not talking like we did last chapter on Victoria's Secret, different type of lingerie. They even have that for men for certain occasions. And mostly, it's a classic. It does a functional. That's my mass marketing. Always make your niche, and then certain brands are identified with customers who buy them. Consumers associate characteristics such as styling, identity, and merchandise. Gap, my son's on never word Gap, that's too conservative. And I don't want about Banana Republic, not that he doesn't know that Gap is owned by Banana Republic, but it's a different type of clothing, a different brand that you don't mind looking at. If I look, some people say I like the red word. And Walgreens is going to short, so I can see at Walgreens get prescription. Okay, now this is just got it. This is a brand name. It has it. Identified attitude. And they got it for gentlemen and men, but basically it's for hair. But look at it. It's the wild, free spirit individual that they're targeting. So they have to understand their customer base. Doing pretty good. Okay. Now, brand position. When you're looking at, remember, we talked before about positioning certain merchandise within your store. We looked at the layout, the previous chapters before. Now we have to look what brand am I going to bring in? If I want to use, I'm just going to use Levi. It's a generic brand. You know, Levi, everyone got Levi's. Okay, let's throw that away. If I want to bring in, saying I'm carrying jeans, and I've got private labels, I got labels from all over, designer jeans, but I want to bring in an average individual, I will have the Levi's out there. Levi's are high end. You know, some are high end. I mean, you know, people say they're medium price, but if you look at it, depends what you consider medium price by your economic level. Okay, your social and your economic understanding of the brand. But Levi's, overall, it's basic, has a higher quality than somebody else that I've never heard before. Like Wagner, nothing wrong with Wagner. But if I look at the two, people say Levi's a higher end. I look at Wagner, yeah, I see those more in Walmart, Kmart. Levi's, I see them more at the higher end store, a little pricier, a little better material. Okay, I'm selling the class. So when you look at it, so where do I, if I want to bring across, I get a higher quality of jeans. So I want to sell them jeans, I would put that brand out there. If I want a different brand, because I want a designer brand, I'll put that designer brand out there to bring people in. Remember, so how do I position a brand? The brand in the store, highly competitive, other brands, you know, which brand. And here's the other thing, not only which ones are bringing in customers, which ones do I have a higher return on my investment. So if I sell one pair of Levi's, I may get $2 per pants. I'm making that up. I'm not, you know, it's just a number. If I sell one pair of, you know, at a higher cost, $2, I'm still going. I bring that clientele in. I sell one pair of Ragners at a lower cost, I may get $1.50. So I say, hey, maybe if I sell more lower cost, you see, you still have to look at what return on investment. But if I'm bringing in somebody with a higher name or a designer name, bringing them in, I'm also selling them designer earrings, designer watches, designer jewelry to go with it, designer shoes. So I want to bring them in at a fair price, and then I get them with all the complementary line clothes that complement that look that they're trying to do it. Remember? So you have to look strategically where I'm at, higher end, lower end, medium end. What am I looking at from a business perspective? The bottom line is, how do I become successful? How do I bring in that target market? And how do I keep my business sustainable, or down the road become so profitable that somebody else will want to buy it when I'm ready to sell it? Okay, so we have that. Okay, the different methods is by pulling, you know, advertise or pull certain things, buy my things, targeting advertising, image and lifestyle oriented. You see the models, you see them wearing the LL Beam, see them doing the hunting or doing more active outside, and selective retail channels, only carried in certain channels where you had to go looking for it. You become the destination store that we talked about earlier. I always try to tie in everything you're learning going forward in this course, in this retail merchandising. You have to know everything: the product life cycle, the customers, the cost of the goods, you know, my inventory, what's the style, what's the fab, you know, where I position. It makes life interesting. You have to be that creative person. I'm not making anything. I just know how to put it right. You know, some people are window dressers. They put this stuff up. They make it the ads. I can never come up with those ideas. You know, sometimes they're provocative. Sometimes, and some are very plain. I'm just a mannequin. Okay, by quality. Now, if I'm looking at by quality of brands, you know, position by price, by quality hierarchy. Designers, Bradley, you know, Nordstrom's always got the designer things. Bread's, Diffusion, Fields, kind of up there, but the down road. Better, right? Jones's as Macy, Moderate, Northern at Kohl's. Still nice brand. Remember, when you do mass marketing, you have all from the Saks to Target, they're carrying the same kind of a similarity in the clothesline. Similarity, if you look at the ties in the materials, one is a higher quality or higher, you know, maybe more material, more color, more realistic. The other one looks like it, not exactly a knockoff, but it at a lower quality. Still could be the same manufacturer or same label, but selling to Walmart, so that maybe a little thinner, versus selling to Macy's or somebody else that's one higher quality, you know, better fit or whatever. Okay. in a little different styles. Otherwise, why would I go to Macy's? I could buy it at Walmart or Kmart. Designer lines, bridge the lines. That's what you're trying to do. Contemporary lines, and these are all everything else from the fashion side. Who's your clientele? You have better lines, you have moderate lines, you have mass market lines, and this is Mark by Jacob. It's a bridge line between the two. So if I'm looking at this, here's a bag. It's not expensive. It's my bridge. The cost between the good to the best. I mean, I can't afford this right now. It's almost like I buy a Mini before I buy a BMW. And even though the same line to a smaller car, here's my lifestyle. As you get older, you want a little bit more luxury. You want a little more, to show your wealth or show your, or you just want a sportier car. If you look at a lot of people, baby boomers, are all driving a sports car. The people who should be driving, the younger people who got the energy, that don't, that like that. Why the older people? They're trying to relive it or get their youth back. It works well for advertising. I do that. All right. So now custom base brand equity pyramid. Here's our goal. Here's the customer's brand connection, the customer's judgment, and the feeling, right? Here's the brand awareness. I walk in the store. What do I see? Levi's. Right. What's the brand? I know it's good quality. What's brand name? Oh, I'm a real good tough guy. Judgment, good things. Customer's feelings. It doesn't shrink. It handles up well. And I got another pair of jeans that looks like that. And a lot of customers will look at jeans by the quality. Remember, some jeans are coated with a certain kind of a protective on the material, so it looks like, man, it's the same quality. Look, it's $20 cheaper than I'm looking at Wagner versus Levi. When I wash them, all of a sudden this seems like a cotton. Boop, this one's still firm and has it. Same thing. You have a lot of clothes that look like Carhartt. Those of you doing the construction, it's still a retail merchandising. How do I look as a construction guy? But fashionable. I had the muscles and let me look good. So they have certain Carhartts are tailored for taller people, for more of a robust figure, but they have other competitors that try to look like the Carhartt. Same material. You feel them. You don't know the difference, but it's a coating on there. Beware, those of you who shop. I'm not trying to tell you anything else. There's nothing wrong with it. They're protecting it for whatever reason, however they sell it. Maybe more starch. But when you wash it, you can tell the difference right off. And you look at the wear. So I have different feelings. Even if I look at it, it looks at like a Carhartt. Doesn't have the Carhartt on there. I already know it's a knockoff. It's not as good. Yeah, most construction people wear a Carhartt. Not that it's fashionable. They're very durable. They take a lot. You wash them, muddy them, wash them. They'll fall apart at the seams before the material goes out. And you still sew them up. And then other people want to have that construction look, and they're buying Carhartts. So Carhartt has another thing just for those that want to look like construction workers, but want to look good, and the other one's construction. Like if you're construction, you want to have the looseness. You want to be tight, like they can't move. Okay? So that's brand positioning, how you position it in the store, brings in the customer, tells you a little bit. Purchases are brand driven. That basically means brand driven is goods that consumer buys due to the product name. I buy Carhartt no matter what. You get everything else. I want a Carhartt. I bought the other one, doesn't work. I want this one over. I don't like the private label. Sometimes private label is okay, if in fooding, but other clothing you're gonna go buy. No substitutes. Customers are brand loyal. Certain cultures are more brand loyal than other cultures. Most Americans look at the best deal. It's the material, everything else that even it could be a little bit different name, new things, and I've already utilized, and it's just as good. I will switch by the cost. If you look at, and I'm going to just look, first generation Mexicans, second generation Mexicans, very cultural loyal. Once they believe in a brand, they'll stick it to the end. From a marketer, from an advertiser, from a retail store, who's my customers? Once they love the brand, they'll always buy the brand as long as the brand is good. It takes them a long time to not brand. So I convince them this is the best brand for them. I get started higher prices. Even the other thing does the same. The substitute or private labels could be just as good, but in their mind, the perception, psychological, it has to be that brand. Okay, when brands clear distinctions differentiate from Tiffany, Heinz, Timex. Timex is a good watch. Very, I use Timex. What the heck? They got high quality watches. They're not the Rolex. But what I use, I go to school, I do work, I beat them around, I go swimming. I throw it around. I'll take off my watch every time. I got to go to something else. Yeah, all right. So you get different watches for different occasions. Works out well. Got big hands. If it doesn't work, I don't have to worry about toss it, buy a new one. Right? You're not worried about it. But if you're going out and you want to show off, you go into a nice function, high-end restaurant. The Rolex goes on, the gold comes out, the nice jewelry. I'm going out just to shop and do every day at the beach. I might lose it, I might take it off. Who cares? Get something else that still looks good. Okay, brand loyal. Customers consistently purchase the same brand. That's what you're looking for, people to become brand loyal. Okay? I'll close that off. Okay, now brands in retail stores. Now, if I look at brands in retail, remember, this is what brings in, this is dress code. And that's what the thing is. It just had a whole different list of fashion. I was just playing around with the website. Have fun with it. It's one website. Try to do every website that I provide you. This is how you learn about different. So this is dress code. It's just looking at different dress code, different styles. Remember, this is 2006, 2005. It changed, best of Boston. Hey, it's already 2015 going on 16, 10 years old. What was acceptable there is not acceptable there now. That's what I'm saying. And some things may be a classic. It comes up. These are very classical. They could go back in different styles. Who's the customer base? Who am I trying to do? What's the lifestyle? Has it changed? Okay. And then brand manufacturing, supporting retailers, cooperative advertising, sales training, right? Promotional ads. Okay, GWP, fixtures and signs. Look at that up in the book. That makes you look at the book. I want you to know. Sometimes I forget some of the acronyms. Markdown money. How much I mark down. So the manufacturer is giving you, some incentive to help you sell your product towards your customer base. What they're trying to do is, when you think psychology, is the reward. Remember the reward reinforcement theory. So I'm giving them some kind of incentive to buy, so they will buy the product, so they'll move the product, so you'll come back and use the manufacturer. My product is sitting from merchandising and it's gathering dust. It's wasting space. It's taking dollar amount. I want to put it in the corner. I want stuff that's moving. You see that a lot of times in stores. Let's look at I'll go Sam's or Costco. All of a sudden they have a phone. They have it moving. All of a sudden you see manufacturer's rebate for this month, $200 off, just like that. I still get my same profit margin. Nothing changes. But that $200 reduces the cost of my expense for the goods, and it enhances the individual. They give me the money back, whatever it is. It's a percentage. We'll get that later on. But So it's them incenting, reducing the price. So now the customers are liking the brand. Especially if it's a new brand they've never tried, and they'll say, "Hey," and the same thing you're gonna have to utilize if you're gonna do private label. Okay. This is everything done from the manufacturers. Now, what do the retail do? Often position themselves in the marketplace by the brands they carry. Right? Real easy. Remember? So you position your store by what you carry. It's like, how do I look is but what I'm wearing. And I'm wearing all Costco's. I like Costco shirts. Very nice, high quality and everything else. I feel like Rick Romney was going, look, I'm an everyday person. I wear Costco. It has a pretty good quality. The other one is Arrow's all right. A little lighter. Van Heusen's good. There's a lot of good brand. JCPenney shirts, their brand labels, another good quality shirt. People are going to look when you're running just what kind of collar you have underneath there. If it looks good, it lays on you well. Same thing with ladies. All right, some people are looking at, it's got to be a Gucci, it's got to be a certain high-end label. It's a little different. Those are when you go out. Other times, a lot of people just look at wow. All right. So I went through this. Let's go on branding. Okay, now if I'm going on branding, in this one here, I've got creating branding equity. Let's look at this one. Develop a positive brand awareness. Remember, manufacturer has to get the brand. I'm looking for the brand. I'm going to push. I'm coming to the store. Do you carry this brand? I don't carry Levi's. I got Ragner's, or I got Walgreens jeans. They're coming out. I don't think it ever went anywhere. Unless I got a big W. Or I got Sam's jeans. Or I got Costco jeans. Even though you don't say Costco's on it, just got a logo. You can't really tell what it is. It's already faded out. So it looks like a brand logo. But it's still high quality jeans. What the heck? If I'm just using it for working, I don't want to fall apart. If I'm using dress, then I don't want the higher end. I want the logo on there. I was going to say I just sell the lapels, the logos on there. Okay, so you develop a positive brand awareness. You establish a brand's meaning. What does the brand mean? Quality, innovative, works on the lifestyle. Elicit the proper response and create intense brand loyalty. The people come looking for the brand. Okay. Now, if I look at Hummers are very gas guzzlers. Those are big cars, big solid quality, military. But now Hummer utilized their name, okay, for a shoe. So basically, they sold the name. So people already look at a Hummer shoe. Recommend that you change your socks every 3,000. They're taking on from the Hummer vehicle, and they're taking it onto a footwear for a construction worker or for a hiking, high quality. Right away, I know it's going to cost me a lot. It cost me the cash, but it's a solid build just by the name and the visual, the brand name, and they're going to something else. Okay, Hummer footwear. Okay, and picking a good brand name should suggest the product benefits. And that's Hummer was a pretty good example on here. You already know, good try your have your set. Be memorable, remember it, for lack of better words. Should fit the company's product or product line. Should have no legal or regulatory restrictions. Should be simple and emotional. You have to hit the spot. Simple and emotional. Okay? Now the next one is brand extensions. Adding related products to your brand. I already have the name. If you look at Apple, what other extension? What could I complement that product to? Okay? An existing line of products. Example, Bobby Brown's adds new eye cream. So something people already know. If I'm in the makeup, I'm in the computer industry, so I'm opening up a hard drive. If I'm HP, I could do a printer. I could also do a computer. I look at DVDs because I figure it's all tied in. So what could I complement to related products underneath my brand name? Developing a new brand product line is the same with the brand identity. I already had the name. Just add a designer's menswear, more for women than it went to men, before adding the menswear. Designing menswear before adding the women's wear, vice versa. Sorry. Okay, licensing a few branches down. Toast, extended. What's Toast? Toast the umbrella. Toast, you go over a big thing. Pop-up umbrellas to a host of cold weather products. Now, what does Toast have now? They have umbrellas, they have boots, they have to keep you cold, they have shoes, they have hats to keep you cool. So Totes went on from the brand name because it's a good, innovative umbrella. Short, you can put it in, you need the big, heavy umbrella, you can put it in your backpack, whatever. Sometimes they blow away, some are heavier, some are better. But they picked up on that, so it's to protect you from the elements of the weather. And now they have complementary product lines that will make up the product mix underneath the Tote umbrella. It makes sense on that, doesn't it? Okay? Alright. Let me move along here. And now let's look at licensing. Now, most of you, if you've taken me for introduction to business or entrepreneurship that I teach at the community colleges and either colleges that I teach at in Illinois, in Lake County, or in Cook County. Look me up, remember, because this is a good thing to know it, but you want the detail, you want to understand it, you want the credit. Community colleges are the best thing for small businesses. You could train your workforce at a very affordable price and get high quality. Remember, I mentioned before, most of the instructors teaching community college, we enjoy teaching. We come from the background, we have the experience. We just don't like doing all the research, which we make you do. Okay, so let's look at licensing. Now, if I'm looking at licensing, what's the definition of licensing? I'm just going to go over. Okay, it occurs when the owner of a name of famous brand, Tiger Woods or or the Blackhawks. Right now they won the championship again. Third time within 6 years, if I'm mistaken. What happens? They have a brand name. So if I see the Blackhawks logo, I could sell that and everything else. Because right now there's a big hype. Everyone wants backing up the Blackhawks, so I could sell it and everything else. But I had to license that logo to be able to put on my product that I'm selling. So an owner of a famous name or business agrees to have goods produced and marketed using that name. In return, the licensor, the owner of the name, right, Blackhawks or whoever, Tiger Woods, I just use him because he's been in the paper, not doing too good ever since his divorce and everything else. He's not focused, a lot of problems, but people happy, right? Sports come up, come down. Remember, our product life cycle, look the same thing when we look at sports individual. He's up, she's up, down. You have the women's soccer league, we're in a championship. People aren't paying attention like they do with the men. Why? The hype isn't there. Ladies, there's more ladies. Support the women. Come on. You get out there. You're more women out there. You got to support the soccer. And soccer is real football, because you use your foot. I had a big thing in my sports marketing class. Okay, royalty. Receives a payment from the producer, marketer, license. That's what I get in return. True to licensing, apparel brand can extend to home fashion. And here's the idea. If I'm looking at this one, this is a clothing line. Now they've got clothes or home fashion to fit into that lifestyle, how I'm dressing. Now here's how I sleep, how I relax, because it has the same color, the same feel, the same smell, and I could tie that all in. Okay? And you see Levi's a lot of times in cars, the denim look, made out of Levi's for those in the ruggeds, like the Jeep would have it for a while. Okay, now includes brand name, designer names, right? A licensing could be trademarks. Disney has a lot of their clothing line that at the high end you have the little Disney logo. You have Winnie the Pooh for kids, for lack of a better word, Donald Duck line. But they have to buy that, even though they're not making it; they're just using the logo. What do you think of Disney? Child, they're very self-conscious of children. They're caring. It's got a good loyalty, good brand. They're always looking out. They're supposed to be the best. They're not going to do anything else for the kids that's going to hurt them. I'm going to put their logo on. I don't want the shirts to go on fire or the clothing to have lead in there. Hurts the brand name. They're very careful. So when they say, yes, you can put your logo on your clothing line, they make sure there's all safety issues met above and beyond, because otherwise it'll hurt the brand. If I allow them to put it on there. And that's why people sometimes off the knockoff brand puts it on because you think you have their quality, and it may not be they may not have the rights to do it. Celebrities, when they put their name on there, they're good. Tiger Woods, everyone wanted the Tiger Woods. He was bringing African American people of color into the golfing industry. He was a hero. He was someone looking up. He had the divorce. He had the affair. All of a sudden they dropped him. He's trying to come back. We all make mistakes, but he just lost that. Remember, because if I'm looking at a celebrity, is Martha Stewart very good until she got the thing with the inside trading. She went to jail, so she's cooking for two now, or cooking for one. I'm still joking around. But what happens, her brand went down, but she came up, and now she sold it again. Because she said, I'm out of this, I'm older, but the brand is still surviving. Because look at Martha Stewart, so it was a homely, home types, quality, nostalgia, back to basics, for lack of a better word. Sports teams. NFL lost it when they had violence and he was beating up his girlfriend in the elevator, and it was videotaped. They lost a bad mark on them, plus the head injuries with the helmet. So they went down. So Sports team trying to recuperate, come back. And ranking picks. If I look at the ranking picks, the ranking by categories: sales, accessories, number one; apparel, furniture goes all the way down to video games, right? Ranking by licensed property, turned by sales, art, celebrity. All these art still goes. Celebrities usually are number one. It depends on the author. The author went number two on here. Okay, alternative to brand strategy, multi-product branding strategy. Toro makes what? Snowblowers, lawnmowers, garden hoses, and sprinklers. It's all underneath Toro's brand. So they're multi-product branding. Not only lawnmowers, snowblowers. It all makes sense. They're all outdoors. Okay, multi-branding strategy. This is multi-product, sorry. Multi-branding, Procter & Gamble, Tide, Cheer, Ivory Soap. All detergents for different. I want one for guys. I want someone that's more gentle. Ivory Soap. I want something more bold, brings out the colors. Okay. Now, private branding strategy is Sears, and Sears got Kenmore Appliances, even though Maytag may make them with some of the other ones, Whirlpool, I'm not sure. Craftsman Tools, and Die Hard Batteries. Those are the names. Die Hard, you already know, they pay a little bit more. They got a better guarantee, warranty. I can bring them back no matter how long not the battery, but the tools and the Craftsman Appliances are fairly solid, okay? Now, whoever makes them for different specification for Kenmore than they do for their own, underneath their own brand name. Okay, a brand mixing strategy. Michelin tires, good tires. They also sell Sears tires underneath, right? Epson, basically printers, but make their own printers, but they make IBM printers for IBM. When we look at IBM, IBM is going more into consulting. They're changing the whole thing, but they still have a brand name. People still want IBM. I don't want their manufacturer. Epson does a great job, so I just make it there underneath my umbrella, underneath my specification. Remember, business is business. When I'm branding, and a customer is using my name, or I'm using them, and they're going to put my private, we'll talk about a little private label on my equipment, they have to meet it to my specifications. Because that's what's selling. Okay, now private labels. Finally, got into private labels. Merchandise bears the names of the retail store. Walmart has their own private label. Walgreens was trying to do it like in jeans or T-shirts with a W. I think a prescription for that. I'm just kidding. It was just a previous. I don't know if it ever materialized. In which it is sold or a name used exclusively by a retailer. So these are all different private labels, right? South Company, Green and the Club. You got Costco got its own name. Sam's got its own private labels. These are all private labels at Macy's Incorporated. Okay, very good. Okay, are available only to the stores that are offering them, right? Saks, private label hosiery, J.C. Penney's work on clothing. They have another line too for shirts. Sears, Kenmore's, FedEx, Fine Apparel, Kmart, Martha Stewart. So she's got some relationship. I think they broke it off. She's with Sears now because Kmart and Sears had a merger, worked together. They're both kind of still struggling, but they're still surviving. They're trying to remake themselves. Okay, J.C. Penney, Arizona jeans. These are some examples. You probably got other product lines. They may be store or buying office labels. Okay, remember you got all these things. You're going to see them. Less expensive for retail. Saks, The Works, Budget Career Work, Real Clothes, Casual Silks and Linen, SAF Collection, Bridgeport. They're less expensive for the retail to make because I can control it. I don't have to pay. Remember, in the distribution, I'm manufacturing to my specification directly. I eliminated the wholesaler or somebody else. Carry brand as part of the merchandising mix. So remember, these are important. So it's my private label. Oh, I got a lot more. Positioning private labels. Interior designers creates a private label just for Target. Same thing when they're looking at someone else doing the makeup. This is just all he's doing. This interior design. Let me move this over. Sorry, is Nate Burks. Is he's just doing everything else for just Target? Okay. That's their end. So if I go to Target, would I buy this? And Target's not. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with Target or anything else. The IKEA. What's the difference? IKEA just says the same. The Target already has it put together. IKEA got it put together. It's still good quality. What am I looking for? I'm in an apartment. I'm moving. I'm transiting, going from town to town. I want light furniture. Move it, pack it in my car, or sell it, or leave it at the house, or I'm renting out. So it has its functionality. People buy from all different places depending what they're looking for. Okay, private label prices. Okay, do not include marketing costs. That's why they're cheaper. Private labels are more likely to be imports from low-wage countries. Not all. Don't come after me. I'm just, what the research is showing. Precipitation, raining outside. Perception of private labels are negative. They're not as good. Associated with lower quality. These are all perception of mine. How do I work around it? Remember, you have J.C. Penney's and everything else. It's already higher end. So Saks got their own private labels, but the stores, the brand already will sustain the private labels at higher quality. Okay. Now, private label plus and minuses. Some advantages of private labels are less expensive to make. Offer better markup. That means markup for me. I could buy it. That's my expense. How much do I add on if I'm comparing it with the higher end product? And I'm only $1 off. Really, the high end, I'm making only $2 for every shirt I sell. At my private label, I'm making $10. And the prices are very similar, same quality, because I can control that. They're exclusive. It means exclusive in only my store. You can only buy them. JCPenney's private labels, you can only buy them there. So they're fanning out to other stores. Because remember, the private label becomes a brand after a while. Allowing retail considerable pricing latitude. Lower wholesalers can result in more competitive pricing. Okay, target specifically to their customers. JCPenney knows what the average customers. They got the demographics of that customer, their lifestyle, so they're making it to it. Like a country shop, for lack of a better, may target to certain niches without being restricted to offering to wholesale markets. I'm doing mass. I'm doing just for customers coming to my store because I understand the customer base cannot be compared on price. Cost of brands are comparable. You're looking by quality. What are some of the disadvantages? Disadvantages: no national advertising, so it's not out there just from the store. No vendor support. I have to do this all myself. That's why it doesn't make sense for small stores. Just starting off a retail shop. Come on, don't listen what the author is saying. Everything. I could start off a small store and have my own private label, George's shirts, and I'm making it. I'm a tailor. And then people buying them, they come in there. I have the other brands that come in there, but I have my own. Oh, you want my own quality? I can make them just like this. What do you want? You want a small pocket, large pocket? I could just adjust it. I'll have it to you within 3 days. I'm a tailor. And now I'm building my own private. After a while, people are buying more of mine and not the brand. The brand brings them in, and they say, this is just as good. And I like George, and I know who's doing. I have the designer. He's doing this just for me. And now you bring it and build it up. All right? Remember, this is just generically talking about some overall disadvantages. When you do your SWOT analysis in this store, in every store, you're taking a strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. Okay, it's just a weakness because they can't, they're doing mass production. I'm doing it here. I'm starting off my label. How am I doing it? I started with a niche. All of a sudden, people say, where do you get that shirt? It's only made by George. All of a sudden, it's George and his wife. George and his kids. George is in another store. George has someplace else. He contracts out. It's underneath George's label. That's how you become famous. That's how you grow. Do not just take this and look at it and say, how could I massage it, work it to fit to my operation, to my strategy where I'm at right now in my retail merchandise. What are my position? What are my ultimate goals? I'm a fashion designer. I'm in a fashion program at the college. You're here. You're a fashion program. How do I get up there so they look at my label? I start off with a private label or something else, or my own label, and I work it in, and I start selling it at the stores because they want to be unique, because people are asking for that label. I finally get into the Walmart. I don't want Walmart. They rip me off. They don't give me no money. Exposure. You could never get that kind of exposure. People go in there, and they'll go in there and say, man, I'm breaking even. I'm losing money. How much exposure are you doing? Stay there for the year. Supply the store. After my name's on there, pull out. Now other people say, hey, they don't have it anymore. Now you have the advantage. But you have to get there. You have to plant the seeds. You have to work. You have to have a strategy. Okay? Consumers purchase maybe brand driven, because new brand, remember, you're bringing it in, you're planting the seeds. It's part of your mix, not the main one. You're slowly bringing in certain days, certain clientele, changing what makes sense for you, what makes your store different age than your other competitors selling similar stores. You have to have something. You have to have that signature. You have to have something that's going to bring them in. You could do it. Okay, capital intense proposition, expensive to operate, precludes many store under capitalization. Because you can't develop. Remember, I'm a small retailer. I'm doing it anyway. I'm creating this, so I have my things. Now I'm creating different sizes. As it gets larger, then you have a different strategy. You have to look at it differently. But now your store is growing. Okay, exclusive lines. Lines created exclusively for retailer are not private label. If I create a lot of main brands, and I'm looking at bicycles. I go bicycle. I buy a name brand bike at a regular bike shop. I pay $2,000 for a bike. What the heck? They got the same brand at Walmart for maybe $500. Walmart has some, or Target $500. That's a little bit high. Let's go Sports Mart. Target, you don't have any bike for $500. I think they cap it at $150 because that's what they're marketing. So figure about $150 with some sales, right? And are you getting the same quality? This one is $2,000. This one's $200. It has the brand, so it has the recognition, but the product is designed. Maybe doesn't have the high-end gears. Maybe doesn't have the high-end rubber, maybe for the tires. Maybe the frame is there, but it looks similar. It's still brand name, different specification, different models, different makes for that. I got rollerblades for rollerblading. You go to Sportsmac, you're paying higher end than you do at Walmart, Target, because it's specifically made for mass production to get people buying that product because of the brand. Look, I got this brand name, but it's the materials are different. It's still, if the brand's quality, it may not be the same quality. Here, mine is gold, but this one may be gold plated or whatever. I'm just trying to add it up. Don't look it down. So if I look at Joe Boxer, right? This is a lower end price range. Joe Boxer goods sell elsewhere for Kmart. You can tell the difference. You got the name. They're maybe better than Heinz. I'm not saying I'm an old traditional guy. If you look at underwear, but so you got to understand that. Why would I pay $20 here and only pay $2 here? The material is just a little bit different. So I got different specifications on there. Okay? All right, so I think we covered everything. Well, we covered a lot, and we should be underneath an hour. I'm always trying underneath an hour. Okay, so what do we cover here? We covered websites, we covered brand merchandise. Remember, brands is another reflection. The clothes I wore, the different brands. If I want people to know certain brand, like I got a Gucci bag, I got this, whatever, or a man bag, whatever. You have to have the makeup you put on, the clothing is a reflection, is what you want people, the facade, what they look like. So you look at your store, that's the facade. What's bringing them in? The brand is going to bring them in. So I'm in there, and then later on, maybe I could direct them to, we got like, I make my own label here, or we got this new designer coming in here. He or she's very creative, and here's a new brand label. They're unknown, and you look at a good quality, all handmade. Oh man, but it's unique. It's comparable to this, but it's not exactly. And that's how you switch. But you got to remember how you position your brand. You know, the pricing of the brands is what brings a certain clientele that follow the brand, and with them, what else I sell. I sell just like what I wear. If I wore everything off of from Kmart, you could tell all polyester, good in the rain, everything else, but not that you know what I mean. Versus do I go to Macy's or Nordstrom to buy my clothing, or a man's work. Okay, so again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Retail Merchandising, Chapter 7, Brands and Private Labels. It's an hours. Remember, you're taking me in an online class or a face-to-face class at a community college. You're getting more than your money's worth. You have a good, solid foundation. Read the book, take the notes, prepare for your retail merchandising layout store that you're going to be creating as a team within this course. And if you're just looking at YouTube, look up at your local community college, whether it's the ones I'm teaching at or anyone else. It's a good value, high quality instructors giving you the basic knowledge. And then later on, when you want to go to your Princeton's or other school, get your good solid foundations, and you'll be surprised how much you already know. They're just going to be adding icing to the cake, but you'll have a solid foundations, and the community colleges will provide that for small businesses or even professionals and larger corporations that want to update their or refresh your own discipline or your professional. So I'll see you in the next class. Have a nice day. Bye.